Hello, guys, welcome. So, in this series of understanding and learning AIML, we'll start with basics of Python. We'll understand Python from basics to medium level because whatever AIML requires, we'll be covering in this session of Python. So, we'll start. Okay, so let's begin. Why Python for AIML? We can use any other language, any other programming language instead of Python. Why are we using Python? That is the main question. First thing is Python is easy to read and write. It is very simple. It's more or like normal English. And Python is something very human friendly language, programming language. Okay. So when it is human friendly programming language, it will be almost in English. And when you see languages like C, so all this language is something computer level language, very near to computer, complex, takes times to understand. Okay, so Python is something very human friendly, easy to read, easy to understand, more or like an English. Okay, and very important thing is Python has ready made AI tools. What are these AI tools? That is libraries. Python has ready made libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, TensorFlow, PyTorch. So all these libraries are already existing, so you just need to use the tools, and Python saves the time. So to explain this simple, I'll tell you, think of an AI as cooking, a procedure of cooking where you have ingredients, you have a recipe book, and you have the cooking tools such as whatever pan, whatever you use, gas stove. So all these are the tools which we use. So you need to add these ingredients into the pan, you need to look at the recipe book, what are the instructions are the present, and then you are cooking. So Python is something the same. It has data, it has model, and it has programming language which are used. So data is something similar to ingredients, and recipe is the model. So it is a structured model where we need to follow that model, and then the programming language is like a cooking tools where we use it. So Python is like a modern kitchen. Everything you need is already there. You just need to focus on cooking, not on making the tools. So that these are the libraries. What I mean to tell. So and you Python is used by large companies like Google, Amazon, Netflix, Oracle. Oracle doesn't use, I don't know. Even huge companies might be even Infosys or Meta. Any big companies use Python for AIML, and best language for beginners and professionals. So this is why we use Python. And when we begin with Python, very first basic thing is variables and data types. Firstly, if any person who is very new to this programming language, you might not understand everything in a moment, but I'll make sure you that you understand everything very detailed with an example, with a real life example, so that you can relate it, you can understand it. And if you are someone who is already into programming language, it's very easy to understand all these variables, data types, for loop, while loop, if else. So all this is something very easy. So yeah, I'll make sure everyone basics. I'm like I will be covering all the basics also. So I'll make sure every beginner, every intermediate, even advanced people to understand everything whatever we teach. Okay. So let's begin. That is variables and data types. First thing, what is variable? Variable is like a container that stores the information. So if you are a beginner, you might think, what is this container to store data? Are we really using containers inside the computers and laptop to store the data? It is like, think like a lunchbox. You have a lunchbox in your home, right? You carry lunchbox in your schools, you have carried. So think of a lunchbox. So the box holds the food, right? Your mama puts the food, she places like a chapati, roti, rice, or some bath, so whatever. So food is placed inside your lunchbox, right? So the food is holding the the lunchbox is holding the food, right? In the same way, variable is holding the data. Inside the variable, we store the data, just like we store food inside the lunchbox. Fine. So if food changes, the box is still the same. Your mama might put, chapati. Others mama, any other auntie might put some rice. So food might be different, but the container what you stored is same. It will be static, right? That is what I'm trying to tell. And in the same way, data may change. Data may be anything, but the variable is something very static. So that is about the variable. If I have to tell you about an example, let me tell you. And if you're a person who are using VS Code, yes, you can use VS Code. If you are using Python, yes, you can use Python. But for the AIML, when we have to go to AIML particularly, I recommend you to use Anaconda. Therefore, I am also using Anaconda. So it's very simple. Just go to the website, download the Anaconda. It gives some things. So if you want instructions, go to any Google websites or any YouTube links, you will get the instruction to download Anaconda. So after you download Anaconda, or if any one of you want guidance to install Anaconda, just please tell me. I'll make sure I'll do that video. But for now, as of now, you go through any other videos and you can install Anaconda. You can use Jupyter Labs, you can use Google Colab. Anything can be used only for Python. But after Python, when we go for other tools like other libraries like NumPy, Pandas, it's better if you use Anaconda, because it is already having pre-built libraries, so you don't need to install everything outside separately. So it is simple to use Anaconda. So after you download Anaconda, you'll be having something called Anaconda prompt. So if you do Anaconda prompt, you're gonna do a folder. You can make a mkdir and your folder name. And after creating a folder, you can do cd ai is my folder name, so cd your folder name, so here my folder name is ai. And later you can use Jupyter Lab. So when you write this, you're gonna get something and it will redirect to a page of Jupyter Labs. So this is a Jupyter Lab, and if you want to go through this, you can go through this. I have already done some coding, so all these things are already present. So yeah, so what is variable is, we have to come back to variable now. So this is variable. So variable, and moreover this is a comment line. What is comment line is something but where you use hashtag in front of the word, and if you use hashtag, it's something, it makes the code very readable. That's all. No changes, no error, nothing. Very simple. Okay. If I have to store anything in a variable, like for example, let's take what shall I take? I'll take age only. Age is my variable and age is equal to 28. So age is a variable, and inside age I'm storing the data 28. Are you understanding? So you're storing data inside a variable name. Simple. For example, here is my variable. So inside here I'll print 2026. I mean I'll store 2026. So 2026 is stored in year. That's all. Simple. Okay. I hope you understood variables. Now let us go. What is data types? So you can store age, number, bank balance, any product price, marks, anything can be stored in variable. Okay. Next is data types. What are data types? Data types tells Python, it will tell Python what kind of data is stored in a variable. For example, as I said you about the lunch box, I just told you that there is a lunch box and inside a lunch box food is stored. That's all. That is all the information what I give. But do you know what food is present inside that lunch box? No. So you need to know what is present inside the lunch box. You as a person who eat, you have to know what kind of food is present. So just like that, Python also has to know what kind of data is present inside that. So There are types of data types, that is int, float, string, boolean, and even more data types is also present. You can go through, you can chat GPT that, but here I think int, float, string, and boolean is something very basic we'll be using. So even in advanced concept, if there is some other data types, I'll make sure I'll tell there. But for now, we'll understand int, float, string, and boolean. Okay. So int is nothing but int is a integer. It is used for whole numbers. I know, I hope you all know what is whole numbers. Whole numbers are numbers which starts from 0 and ends to infinity. So any whole numbers can be stored and no decimal values can be stored in integer. So instead of writing or calling it as an integer, we'll use only int, int. You can store like age, count, marks, number of students, number of cars. So you're gonna store the whole numbers. So for storing whole numbers, we're gonna use only int. And if you have to store any decimal values like the temperature, you need to store the temperature inside something variable. You're using float. So float is used to store the decimal points like salary, temperature, height. If you have to store 5.8 is my height, you need to store it in float. And next is string. String is where you store your name like nouns like name, email ID, some text, some random text like you're going to say hello dash, hello xyz, so something. So if you have to write a string, you're going to store it in string. Okay. So student detail storage, that is the real life example what they have given. And boolean is not mentioned in the ppt, but I'll tell you, boolean is used for true or false. Only two kinds of option like true or false you're gonna store. Okay. So for example, if a is true, so some condition will be given back then. Okay. So something like that. For example, if login successful or not, so they're true or false. So such type examples come. So I'll show you the real life example. I mean, I'll code these examples and show you what kind of all these are being used. Okay, wait a minute. We are going to Jupyter Labs and we'll see what all can be stored. Like in, as I said, this is the integer. Okay, this is integer where we are going to store the whole numbers. So this is integer type. And if we have to see float, for example, let me take height. I'll tell it as 5.8. This is height. Like temperature, temp, I'll take temp. Variable name can be anything. It can be any letter. It can be capital, it can be small. So anything, any name can be given. There is no restriction that you need to use temperature, the whole word. No, I can't use temperature, the whole word, because I'm so lazy to type temperature. Therefore, I use temp. So for temp, I'll store 32.1, I mean 23, anything, any 32.27. So all this is float. Fine. So to add the extra cell, you can click on this plus. And for the string, for example, as I said, name can be stored. So name is like some random name like Ganvi. So names can be stored. And see one thing clearly, that in string we're going to use the quotes. It can be double quotes or single quotes. Most preferably we'll be using double quotes. Okay. So this is string. You can type even the long message also. It can be in double quotes or single quotes. Fine. So this is string. And for boolean, for example, as I said, login successful. So login, or we can tell, yeah, login success is equal to true. So this true has to be, T has to be capital in the true. See, in the capital true, it is showing it in green. But if I type normal true, I mean small letter t, it is not showing in green. So this is something built in true, built in data type. So this is how the boolean. So all this, as I said, integer, float, string, and the last one is boolean. Okay, so all these are done. And the next topic is input and output. So input, what is input? In Python, we use input to take input from the user. So you, okay, I'll tell you that. So input is taking the input from the user, and output is displaying the whatever output is given, like whatever output is given from the system. So whatever algorithm is present, it performs those algorithms, it performs those functions. So after doing all those mathematic things or any other things might be, so it will print whatever the results is there, it will display. I'll tell you with this simple example. Input is, you go for an ATM, you insert your card and it will ask you to enter your pin to show the balance, or enter your pin to draw the amount. So you have some 4-digit pin, you enter that pin, and successfully you will get the amount from the ATM. What is that? Your pin, whatever you are entering the pin, is the input, and whatever the balance is displayed on your screen is the output. That's all. Very simple. You get that? This is input and output, and I'll show you with an example. Again, going back to our Jupyter Labs, I'll type, for example, I'll type it. This is my variable, name is my variable, okay? And input, you need to use input word. Input word is a function. You're using that. And I'm writing a string that enter your name. Okay? This is my input. And this is where the person enter their name. And then I'll write print name. So shall we run this? So it is asking enter your name. I'll enter name as Sam. Enter. Sam. So the Sam is output. This whatever Sam you are entering is the input. Okay. If I have to print hello, so now let's print Sam. Enter. Hello Sam. It is printing hello Sam. This is about input and output. And our next topic is operators in Python. So what are the operators in Python? What are we doing here? Let us see. An operator is a symbol that tells Python to do some work. What kind of work? It might be addition, subtraction, any mathematical work can be performed using operators. Not only mathematical, it might be any other, like maybe comparing, adding, or differentiating, anything, any operations can be performed. So whatever operators you perform in your math can be performed in Python. So we have types of operators in Python: arithmetic, comparison operator, logical operator, and assignment operator. Yeah, assignment is not mentioned in the PPT, but we'll see assignment also. So first is arithmetic. Arithmetic are the math operators, okay? To be very specific, arithmetic are the math operators where you perform plus, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. This is arithmetic. And comparison operators is when you compare between two variables. For example, a is greater than b, a is equal to b, that is equal, that is a is equal to b. Greater than symbol, less than symbol, equal to, not equal to, all those comes in comparison. And next is logical. Logical operators are like and, or, and not. And is nothing but it means both must be true. Like A also has to be true, B also has to be true. And in or, any one can be true, and in not, reverse of the result. That's all. I'll tell you all this with an example also. I'm just telling you the theory part. In the assignment operators, assigning is assigning a number, and add and assign, subtract and assign. Let us see all these things right now so that you don't have any confusions. So first we'll be starting with arithmetic. I'll assign A is equal to 5, B is equal to 6. Just random numbers I'm taking. What I'll do is, see, this is print is my output function, so whatever has to be displayed you need to write it with print. So not here, I'm so sorry. Here, this, see here also you have option to delete the cell. So when you use the Jupyter, you'll understand it better. So for example, I'll print A plus B. What has to be the result? The result has to be 11. Let us see if it is doing correct. Why? Oh, I didn't run this. You need to run this and then this. It is 11. Fine. Same way you can perform subtraction, multiplication and division. So here subtraction, here multiplication and then the division. So I'll run this. See, when you add it's 11, when you subtract it's -1, when you multiply it's 30, and when you divide it's 0.833334. That's all. Very simple, right? This is the arithmetic operators. And let us see the comparison operators. As I said, comparison. So what are the comparison operators? Greater than, less than, equal to, and not equal to. So all these are the four operators: greater than, less than, equal to, and not equal. Or you can say it's only equal to, not equal to, only equal to and not equal to. Let me explain you with an example now. For example, if I take age is equal to 20, I'll print age is greater than 18. Yes, is it true? Is age is greater than 18? Is my 20 is greater than 18? True. So here it has to give me answer true. And next is print age equal to 18. Is it equal to 18? No, it is false. Let us run this. You need to get true and false. See, true and false. That's all. So this is equal to, where you are comparing, is 18 equal to the age which is stored. Is 18 equal to the age? No, therefore it is false. And is the age greater than 18? Yes, true. Therefore it is true. This is the comparison. And when we use logical operators are and, or, and not. So and is something where both the conditions has to be true. In or, if any between two condition, any one condition is true, or is performed. And not is something, it gives the reverse result. I'll tell you again. Like for example, age is equal to 22. I'll take salary is equal to 50,000. Fine. If I print, if age is greater than 21 and salary is greater than 25,000, print loan approved. I'll tell you. This if, for now you forget it because I have not explained you about if. I'll tell you later. But now your concentration has to be on age and salary. I have stored age is 22 and salary as 50,000. Okay. So if age is greater than 21 and salary is greater than 25, loan is approved. It means if I use AND condition, both the condition has to be true. So for this case, for this 22 and 50,000, of course the condition is true. Let's print it. Why? Sorry, wait. You need to add colon. Why? Please be careful with the indentation error, guys. See, loan is approved. For example, if I change, for example, your age is 20 and you're not earning anything. Okay, let us assume you earn 2000 as an intern. And now let's run this. Do you get the loan? No message is printed. So this says that condition is not satisfied. If even if I give this as 30,000, even if you are earning 30,000 and your age is still 20, no message is given. But if you change your age to 30 and try to print, of course loan is approved. That's all. If I say or, same way you're changing and to or, and if I give 20, even if your age is 20 but you earn 30,000 salary, now the loan is approved. Or because your either age has to be 21 years old, I mean greater than 21, or your salary has to be 25,000 more. So if it is greater than 25,000, the loan is approved. So this is or condition. That's all. Simple, right? And the last one is assignment operators. Assignment is something you already know. That is assign. If I have assigned age is equal to 20, this equal to is the assign operator. Again, I'll take some other example and show you. For example, balance is equal to 200, for example, okay? And your friend added 10 rupees extra into your account. So how can you show it? Balance plus equal to 10. And now shall we print this balance? When you print it, your balance will be 210. That is, so this is plus equal to, that is add and assign. So what you're doing is actually balance is equal to balance plus 10. That's all. So instead of writing the whole, we'll remove this balance and we'll write it in this format. You can also do minus operation also, and when you run it will be 190. That's all. This is the assignment operators. I hope you understood all this. And next is conditional statement. Just 5 minutes back I said to you, ignore if, what is this if, but now we are into if and else conditions, that is conditional statements. So what are conditional statements? Conditional statements are those which helps for computer to take decision. As we saw in that example, if is the condition, if you're checking that his age is greater than 21, yes, and salary is 25,000, greater than 25,000, so that condition check where you're checking, that is if. And else is an alternate action which can be used, so used in spam detection, decision making in AI systems. Okay, normal example I'll tell you. If it rains, what do? If it rains, you take the umbrella. So if it rains, you're doing some action. That's what if else if condition does. If condition is present, if condition is true, if the condition check is executing, then you do that action. If traffic light is red, action is you're stopping your vehicle. If exam marks are good, you have been passed. This is if. Now, if your exam marks are good, you pass. Else, you fail. Did you get that alternate action? Else, you're failing. This is if else. And we also have elif, that is else if. We'll be seeing that because we'll do that if there is multiple conditions. Okay. Now let's do that. We'll come back to this example again. I'll just remove this. See here, your age and salary, and I'll convert this into and only, and age into 28 maybe. So if age is equal to, if age is greater than 21 and salary is greater than 25, loan is approved. Else, you're gonna print loan not approved. Shall we run this now? Loan approved because age is greater than 21, salary is also greater than 25. But now if I make your age to 19, loan not approved. So your if condition, your else condition is done. Simple? I hope you understood. Now third one is elif condition, that is when you have multiple statement. Okay. For example, we can take marks example to show you. For example, marks is 75. If marks is greater than equal to 90, say 90, we shall print you got grade A. Fine. We'll copy this or leave. It's not needed. Next is else you fail, or say you got grade C. Where is my grade B? Where? It's not given. So this is a condition. Being a student, if you are getting 90 plus, you get marks A. If you get, for example, if you get marks 60 plus, you get grade B. And if you got less than that, you get grade C. This is something which you already know. But the code is not showing for the condition 60. Even if you get 75, you will get grade C. No, I don't want grade C. I want grade B. What can be done? We'll use elif condition. Elif, that is else if marks greater than equal to 60, for example, we can print you got grade B. So when you have to show multiple conditions, you're gonna use. Even you can take the example like traffic light. If the light is equal to red, you have to stop. If light is equal to green, you need to move. Else, ready condition for the yellow light. So that's how you do. When we run this, so for 75, it lies between grade B. If you got 98, you get grade A. Simple. This is else if. Our next topic is loops. What is loop? A loop is used when we want to repeat the same work again and again. For example, in real life example, I'll tell, like, teacher is calling an attendance for 62 students. So teacher has to say 1, 2, 3. She has to call those numbers, roll numbers, repeatedly for 60 numbers. And sending the same message to many people. So you have to send to all your classmates the same message. So what do? You have a WhatsApp group. So same way, somewhere, not WhatsApp group can be similar, like automatically sending it to everyone. Fixed repetitions. And yeah, these are the examples. And there are types, that is for loop and while loop. Let us understand both, and we'll see what are the differences. First is for loop. For loop is fixed repetition, which means when you know how many times to repeat. For example, if you tell, if I tell you guys, print 1 to 10,000. Do you sit and print 1, then comma 2, comma 3, comma 4? Do you do that? How many time it will consume to print till 10,000? Or if I say print till 1 lakh, you'll be like, are you crazy? We don't have such time to do all those things. So this is a lengthy process, fixed repetition. I've give you fixed number to do that. So you say, it is lengthy process. How will I do? You give some lame reasons to me that I can't do. So for loops come in handy. You can print till any number of numbers without any uh, no struggle. It will do it in seconds. I'll tell you how to do that. And next is while. So when you don't know how many times to repeat, but you have a condition. For example, if I say print till I mean like some condition, if I give, if print till some number where 4 is if that number is divided by 4, you get some reminder, you get a reminder as 0. So such number, such condition I give you. So when you have the condition, you use while loop. Let's do it. First we'll start with for loop. If I say print till 10, number 10, how do you do that? You will use for keyword, and I is some variable name I. In range, you're giving the range. I say that print from 1 to 10. If you have to print till 10, you need to give it till 11. So if I give till 11 and close this and do this colon semicolon pointed, okay, and then you have to print this variable called I. Shall we do that? See the magic, guys. Boom, you got 1 to 10. Even if you have to do till 1000, you got it till 1000. So all these numbers are printed. See, within seconds. If I show you till 1 to 10, ma'am, you tell that, ma'am, it's so easy, you can do it handy. But when you have to do till 1000, do you sit and type all this? No, we can't. Not only till 1000, you can do many. See, it goes on and on. You can't do. I mean, when you have such large numbers, you can use for loop. So this is for loop. For now, let me just do it for 100. This is for loop. So when you have some fixed number, fixed repetition you need, you go with for loop. But when the while loop condition comes, and as I said, it's a condition based. For example, I say count is equal to 1. I assign count is equal to 1. This is a variable, okay? While, and inside while I have to give the condition. While count is greater than equal to 10. Till this condition is true, print count, and you will perform the operation, that is count plus 1. See, till 1 to 10 it performed, and next when it is 10 plus 1 11, this condition is not satisfied, therefore it comes out of the loop. This is while loop. And the next topic is function. Function is something, a reusable block of code, which means you are storing something and you're calling it again and again, like a washing machine used in ML prediction logic. Okay, let us see with an example. So as I said about washing machine, I'll just elaborate it over. For example, you have a washing machine in your house. It is always in your house, right? You have always your washing machine, and what you do, you put the dirty clothes inside it. You operate it like, if you give a fixed time, 1 hour or something. You just you add the detergent and you on the switch. It'll always clean the clothes, and it'll give you the clean clothes. Same way, next time also you'll do same thing. So after 3 days, you'll again put the cloths. It will give you the washed cloths. You'll dry it again. After 3 days, you do this procedure. So washing machine is something where you're doing your work continuously, repeatedly. You're using it for some specific job. So the same way, function is also something like that. You give some input, that is your dirty cloths, and the function, that is the washing machine, performs the work, and it gives the output, that is your cleaned cloths. For example, if I have to do for function, you have to start with def, and def greet. This is the function name. Greet is my function name. Inside that, I'll call name. We are calling the name, and inside that, I'll perform print hello name. Okay. Now what I'll do is, I'll call this function greet. This is the function name, right? I'll call the function, and I'll give the name as Ravi. Shall we run this? So it will give hello Ravi. Same example we had shown in the beginning of the lecture also, right? Same way. But if you have to do it for so many people, you can't do it. I mean, you can't go type again hello Ravi, hello XYZ, hello Geeta, hello Sham, hello Ram. So you can't print it. As it is just hello, you might say that, ma'am, it is just a hello. But when you have to do it for a large amount of data, when you are using large amount of data, or you have to send some large amount of text, you can't always type it, right? What you do there is, you call this function. Another example I'll give you, def add. This is add is my function, and I'll pass some parameter as a or s. I'll pass s, and I'll print a plus b. So inside the function, or I'll just pass a plus b only, instead of storing a comma b, and you'll print it a plus b, or you can also return it. That is simple. Instead of printing, so you can return a plus b, and now you can print it. That is you are calling the function. What you'll do, you'll print, you'll call the function, and you'll pass the parameters as 10 comma 20, for example 30. Even if you change it for some other random value, you'll get the answer. Simple. You can perform any number of times. Okay, this is function. And in the next lecture, we'll be discussing list tuple sets, dictionaries, string handlings, file handling, and NumPy basics, pandas, data visualization. So all this will be covered in the upcoming video. So please stay tuned so that we learn AIML completely. So thank you guys for watching till here. Bye bye. And also, if you have any doubts regarding any topics, please comment down. I'll clear all your doubts in the comment box. And if the information has to be given correctly or more detailedly, I'll do separate video for that comment also. Okay? Bye bye.